Sorry, just about with the limitations, I have been struggled for making a normal aspect of a very research. How can Argentina, for Argentina embrace the complete of the organized crime, terrorism and masons and the whole of the abominables and the whole of the disasters that have been caused by the whole of the sickness and associated and embraced for the making the commitment against the whole humankind and my person understanding who we are for them government of the world idea. They will be the superior guest of the whole imperialism hermetic shit, which they've shown with Kirchners all the time and making the change and making the whole of the degenerations and maneuvers like getting goddamn hell demons, which everyone is victims of art. Now, the reality of this is that they got inside my place with evangelicals, Prefectura de Argentina, Policía Federal Argentina, telling that they had to discover me and putting me at the exposition with my associated Israel, Jewish, and the whole of the states, especially Mr. President Barack Obama, LIAISON Office, International Criminal Court, International Court of Justice, and Justice Parties, that they've mentioned that will be them, not us. And they just taken my BRICS computer, gigabyte BRICS, I'm sorry, I'm telling the trademarks, which I bought in Chesapeake Place, Buenos Aires, in Carabobo Avenue, almost intersection Rivadavia Avenue, with a very support of one person called Gloria Irene Blanco, Redemi, with her credit card in 3 payments and the rest cash for about an amount of 8,000 pesos with another elements that I already had bought in Mercado Libre with her credit card as well, one HD of 500 gigabytes, I'm sorry. And a card that I bought where Flavio hardware that doesn't exist here no more, no matter who changed the name, is true, in the bottom place that were actually distributors. And they gave me by Mercado Libre one offered over a Samsung 4 gigabytes card memory DDR3, sorry. And I made this Celeron, Intel Celeron BRICS mini computer for I do using with the HDMI connections over my TV. And they cut inside my place by the supporting of one changeling inside my place and took my computer and deliberately that I would rob it with the whole inside to armed forces and evangelicals. And of course, many computers will be a lie, wouldn't exist, will be just invention of mine, and I would lie here. But they would show that they will have it. Now the reality of this all also with a computer that I used to having that I cut the reproduction of the evidence that I've sent. One Acer Aspire 3 with 7th generation of Intel Core i3. The big screen, which the standard's 15.6 with a complete keyboard, and 1 TB with 3 gigabytes, I'm sorry, 4 giga RAM that I've never connected, and they replaced it with a complete backpack and the whole of the sickness, but they researchers to make inside my place with another changeling at the same class of ways, but extorting me to killing people, and I had to be around to keep them the space and to show them that I would be dad, prostitute, homosexual, with them associated parties. And we've discovered the whole that they've been doing, and we've ripped them out to the hell that them, same way they will have today, forever. And just put it one computer with an HD that has any class of a sickness like they does, which it will be me, like always, the faith of the trick. Like any goddamn disgusting demon and a witch voodoo, like the puppy of them, Lucifer, will ever want to give in to my father, Ea-Aa-Ffaaa-United Evangelicals. Now, the reality which they does always with the supposed transference with the whole that I do and exist and I know to the every demon, delivering that they will show that they've done and they are, and not me and not us, which does to everybody. They've said one computer with not DDR4, which is exactly at around 8,000 to 16,000 pesos in Buenos Aires or more right now, with a computer that I bought in Compumundo, but Teleshop, with an offer over this computer with a Vortex 7 inches this tablet, which is Israeli, about this combo on a very 12 payments of 1,716 pesos each. And I had it 1 year, and at the 1 year I just ended the payment and went with the person that were inside my place with a credit card, Nativa Mastercard Nación, Banco Nación Argentina, in 12 payments over the credit card at the name of Redemi that they were putting changelings inside my place. Some forced and threatened with a very reproduction of face. I'm sorry, but it's happening. And the prince speaks also Dutch, which I've done from first to last with International Criminal Court and the real legitimate states. And the reality which I went in person to take it, but I would rob it with everything that I paid for the respect of each author and for the respect of what I do and which I'm doing and what we do for the each downloaded file of music that I paid to them authors and also to the discographic corporations, to the records corporation, for the whole material that we used to work. That I would rob to Argentina because of they would make the stellar radio and the whole of the damn charcoal disgusting thing like Sodomar. Apart, and I'm sorry, the first fraction of this video, for the reason of this, I have just one phone which I'm recording this video now. The first fragment, for the reason of battery and short storage space, is already uploaded at my YouTube, like I'm going to do with this segment. Alright, so the reference of this is I'm sick of them and they are going to go to hell with the whole sickness that they need to genocide, to rob, and putting me like the best ever call for motivation as much that they can acquire. Evangelicals especially, prostitutes of its Saddam, them armed forces, friends and militaries that gives them the whole that they want on the invention over who's going to touch them. And also forensic psychiatrists and the whole of the sickness that they mob doesn't do over, they are the power who's going to do what to them. And Tribunales Argentina with Kirchner's obvious. Alright, I'm sorry for this. So I'm angry with the limitations, forgive me please, and the rest that you know. Okay, further whatever the situations we've been with about. So the clear fact of this coronavirus, the COVID19, were exactly the express for one project of nations in the government of the world and them associated and bodies all, that they would configure the reality for what they will be and everybody will ever have to submit and shut up. And they were thanking me and thanking everybody for what they will manage and handle over the number of demons and abominations that they were and they used to, for the setting out and showing the supremacy that they would submit and suppress, and showing that the trouser doesn't cheat itself. And also speaks to them and tells them we will be the best hold for they to satisfy. Also to Gomorrones, degeneradas. Now, sorry for this. The reality for this story is at the point for what we've been through and we still go through. The normal number of sentences, capital sentence for everyone, except the people we've rescued, and so will be. Now, the clear fact of this is that they've been murdering massively and serially people. But not only with coronavirus, this comes since the foundation of Argentina and so previous. Because of Argentina were founded in genocide. With Martín Chofierrazo degenerado and them lineages. So, at this San Martín degenerado como ellos, were exactly the reality and the realization for what the project of the whole of the ancestors, which is imperialism whole, especially Saddam, which every one of them are. Then the clear fact of this is exactly founded on innocent people, blood poured, for they to have them independence and them realization for they will make the right supreme. Sorry, supreme, but supremacy. Toward that whole, all at longer, which the whole of the best years of Argentina, where nothing ever happened, were that naive to thinking of the possibility that Argentina will ever have a problem, especially with me, supposed terrorist of Israel Embassy and AMIA, Argentina, that also I declare here because of I will be a cycle that say the thanks because of I denounce over my own guilt, over switching the reality, just like they do all the time. I will be the whole AR and they will be the whole AM. And what anybody else says. That sociopathic Arbeida, which is called Brazenst's syndrome, or disorder, of sociopaths, which evangelicals all are and embodies. That cycle that generates like a faith of a retroser, one cheek, to provide the best ever service to it, and the whole of the disgusting abominations that God will justify. That I've shown you now, and you know. Now, the reality for this all introduces other goddamn factor as well, which of the normal understanding which this is and what's happening is exactly the normal, natural reality that even until the last time, they've been needing to making generational genocides, one and another, are seeking for them science, for that word to them. Then I'm showing, and then I've shown, and I've sent proved, and we've been working for everyone to be protected, whatever, whoever, and make the right job. So they are gonna die going to hell. So at the reference of this, I made the best ever simulation trophy medals and the whole of the careers and the gondola product for whatever they wanted to submit me with them associated and parties to making me and to making to everybody understanding who I am and not the sickness that they thirst to publishing all over and saying that they will do, like already sent on evidences and shown me now from first to last. And also with the invention of